Alright guys, it's time for the finals of Week 2 of the North American Challenger Cup. I'm Zyden. Once again, he has thus far today beaten the spiders, beaten the kangaroos, beaten the spider kangaroos, beaten the zombie spider kangaroos. He beat the full-out brutes. And now he has just finished facing off against the brute radioactive spider shark zombies. And he is returning once again with me. It's Ranconius, all the way from Australia.
Yeah, and at the end of this series, I hope to have beaten myself a fire giant too. Can get me a nice belt, nice glowy belt. Might go very well with an attack speed buff, I think. Yeah. Looks pretty cool anyway.
Yeah, that said, it's going to be Resist Gaming facing off against Hi-5 this week. Some early upsets. Noble Esports knocked out way back in the round of 16. So, yeah, the first place team not earning too many points, so it is still completely and utterly up for grabs across the board for many, many teams to establish those seeding points. It's a 5-week open bracket series, so every little bit can potentially be important. There's only 8 seats in that round robin stage.
Hi-5 are going to take a 60-point lead at the top of the bracket. That's going to be immense. That's going to be really, really tough to chase down. So long as they finish second, it's going to take somebody else 2 weeks minimum to chase them down, if that someone is Noble Esports.
It will definitely be interesting to see how this all plays out. But once again, bans coming out. It's going to be Circuit, Yanis for Resist Gaming, Hi-5 banning the Athena Bologna, and Neith getting... I'm not used to this Neith first pick thing yet. It's very strange considering she was like mediocre 80 carry. It's like she's Neith. She's not really worth writing home about. Suddenly it's like, first pick, first ban! It's worth it. She's really good now in her role, being able to be played in that mid lane, 80 carry role as well in the duo lane. It works well, it's just not the most usual thing in the world.
Guess what just got locked in? Odin. Odin. The bird bomb is here. And it's here to stay. It's going to make a statement.
It's actually like this pick. Typically you don't see Odin picked up till much later on. But already going to this team composition, Sylvanus has healing. The Ring of Spears provides anti-healing. Sylvanus also cannot escape from a Ring of Spears. Neither can Xbalanque. A lot of people mistook his Rising Jaguar as a full-on leap through the air. It was recently lowered. It's like this weird sort of corkscrew backflip cartwheelie thing now. He can't get over that Ring of Spears either. So he'll be locked down in the middle of that if he happens to be caught out of position. And if Odin looks to pick up a blink later on, the bird bomb is pretty telegraphed. It's easy to predict, easy to kind of spot coming in. A blink Ring of Spears, it's a lot harder to get out of the way of.
And then you can bird bomb for days inside whatever you want to do with that Ring of Spears. You can boop them a couple times with your in-hands. You can jump on them with a shield on top of yourself for some bombage. And then the rest of your team can just be like, yeah, maybe we'll initiate, maybe we'll follow you up, maybe we'll drop a circle of protections down on you so we can heal and you can't. You know, that's a combo that can come through when you've got Nisus on your side as well.
There's a Thor ban in the counter banning phase. I can't remember telling you the last time I saw that. The meta is changing, guys. Whether that's for better or worse, I have yet to decide personally, although it is nice kind of seeing the change-up thing. A lot of people are not particularly thrilled about this whole triple Guardian, double, triple Hunter thing we're seeing these days. Mages are kind of just being left on the backside. It's like, they're standing there on the side of the road. It's like, what the hell just happened? No one loves us anymore. Guys, come on. I'm Poseidon. I'm the god of the oceans, or I don't even know. It's Poseidon. He doesn't get played anymore. I mean, who needs to know? He was just banned, at least. I mean, he's not completely out of the picture. Still a little bit of concern about him.
We haven't seen any Janus at all today, and yet he's made his way onto the ban list for game number 1 of our grand final. And Circuit has been banned, I'm going to say, most of the games that we've seen today, if not all of them.
It's definitely many, many less. There's a couple that she wasn't picked or banned as well, which is, you know, previously more or less unheard of. But it's going to be Scylla getting locked in for the mage of one of these two teams. I honestly don't even know anymore. They're backwards in the client again. Hi-5, locking in Scylla. It's correct on the stream as well, so at least there's that. Ranconius, you didn't screw up this time around. Good job.
Yes!
What's that for you?
Yes! I beat production, guys! I beat production! Blame Adonis. But something I'd like to point out is our chat was onto it straight away. Why would you pick a Sylvanus and a Xbalanque in the lane together? Wisps. What does Xbalanque lack in the early portions of the lane? He lacks sustain and clear. So if you've got the Sylvanus there with you, you've got the AoE auto attacks to get you through that early portion of the lane phase and make sure that you pick up all of those creeps and you shove effectively really, really well. And then you've got Wisps to stop Xbalanque from losing so hard in the early portion of the game, and the Wrath of Terror, the pick. is so good in that early portions of the game as well that they can find kills and get Xbalanque snowballing. That's why they're going for that comp.
Yeah, it'll work out pretty well. The Odin, like we touched on earlier, is a potential concern for this matchup. With a couple of the other picks coming in as well, I can find Sobek on this list. He was the final lock-in, and I'll round out both these team comps for the moment unless I messed up, Ranconius messed up again. I can't mess up again. We talked about this earlier. It's impossible. It's literally impossible.
I'm sorry.
Contractually prevented from messing up. It's just physically impossible. But all kidding aside, looking at these team comps, Scylla can get out of it, so not too big of a deal. Sobek can't, Xbalanque can, Batz can leap over it, Sylvanus can't get out of that Ring of Spears. So despite being a bit of an early pickup, typically Odin you don't see really picked up until the last pick, they have a pretty good wombo combo coming out. They have the Odin, they have that Hades, they have that Isis as well. Neith for good measure. I mean, can you imagine having just a broken weave stuck in the middle of that ring, and you pop a spirit arrow, hit that everyone for damage, Bastet, Razor Web, that's kind of confined in that area. High five, anyone, if any of those three who cannot get out of that Ring of Spears get caught, they're just going to die horribly. Never mind if they potentially catch multiple people out. If Batz looks to, somersault into the middle of a fight, and you happen to be next to Sylvanus, Sobek, Xbalanque, he's going to be stuck in there because his escape ability is on cooldown.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a really, really rough wombo combo. This is like the perfect time to pick up Hades. Yeah. So today we've had a fantastic day. We've seen double Hunter, triple Guardian. We've seen double Hunter, triple Guardian again, and now we're back to normal with a lot more aggression. I like it. I like it. I like going back to something a bit different. This is fun.
It's crazy stuff. We'll see exactly how this one all plays out here in just a few minutes. Resist Gaming gonna be going up against High Five in the best of 3 finals for week 2 of the North American Challenger Cup. Stick around, we'll be back here in just a few. Alright guys, welcome back. Time for game 1 of the finals for North American Challenger Cup week number 2. Resist Gaming facing off against High Five in this one. Looking at these team comps, we talked about in picks and bans, some crazy, crazy stuff coming out. We saw the Triple Guardian Double Hunter. We saw the balanced team compositions. We see the crazy Hades, Odin play coming out from Resist right now. This should be an interesting one, if nothing else.
Well, yeah, I mean, Grishank's looking to go a little bit aggressive, but he finds Ballantine. What does this mean? This is just a ward planting. Ballantine's just like, right, I had to eat the tax for that to happen. This better be worth it. Damn this ward.
Yeah, going back to base, Ballantine looking for a quote-unquote lazy back, not getting spotted out, being allowed to recall, as is Bastet. And go pick up a couple extra potions, possibly. Maybe, what were they doing back there? I don't know. A couple potions or something. I'm looking at the wrong side of the screen. There we go, potions! Like, why'd they go back to base? They weren't buying anything. I'm looking at the High Five side of the screen. So yeah, nevertheless, Resist Gaming coming this one. Let's run through these rosters quick while we have a moment as Neith does a little dance here in the mid lane for our entertainment before the match actually gets underway. That said, we do have Resist Gaming blue side of the screen, left side of the screen even, defending the Titan of Order. Ballantine playing the solo lane Hades, Houdat in the jungle as Bastet, Chaos in the mid lane as Isis, Polar Bear Mike playing Odin in the support role, and finally Fear No on Neith as the AD carry.
On the right-hand side, the Chaos side of things, they get to deal with lava as they run out of the base. That ain't fun. Medieval's going to be on the solo back, who gets to deal with more lava over on the right-hand side of the map. Fantastic for him. Grishank's going to be on the monkey in the jungle. Hopefully he doesn't monkey around too much. In the mid lane, the little girl of terror, little girl of nightmares, the little girl who got the cog skin because she was Titan's Nightmare in the World Championship. Thank you, MLC Stealth, by the way. Elbro Chacho is going to be on the tree, and finally coming through, Xbalanque is going to be played by Nonton.
Yep, looking at these lane matchups as both teams have finally arrived in lane left-hand side. Xbalanque is wave clear, not too much of an issue with Sylvanus to help him out for the time being, at least. But you can see already 2 minions pushing their way forward. For now, Albert Chacho does have the purple buff in hand to get that little bit of extra damage to all 3 minions, either melee or archer minions at any point in time. Grishank looking for some early aggression mid lane, gonna be able to avoid that spirit ball from Chaos and safely arrive to soak up some experience.
Some nice experience soak for him. Level 3s on Vulture and Grishank means that they can rotate around the map. They're not going to aggress onto the left backside camp of their opposition. They're instead just going to take a free camp of their own at the backside, and because that wave was so shoved underneath the Tower of Chaos, they're going to have to rotate in Houdat to maintain the XP as it is, to push this wave as quickly as possible and go and take one of their back camps as well.
Ballantine playing a risky game over in that right lane, did take a charge prey and got thrown under the tower. A little worse for the wear. Able to escape though, using the Blight stacks to heal himself back up almost all the way to full. Both those solo laners once again have a way to heal themselves up Not too worried about things.
Look left side. Look at this damage El Brochacho's taken. Look at him. He likes eating it to the face, doesn't he?
And those bird bombs, Sylvanus, not the most mobile guy in Smite, probably one of the least mobile overall. With those bird bombs coming in from Polar Bear Mike, it's a lot of damage. And Fear Note as well to back it up. If you know, a spirit arrow beforehand into a bird bomb, I want to say it's not possible without boots to actually avoid it if you target that bird bomb dead center where the target's rooted. So, good combo setup for Resist Gaming. A little bit perhaps of an early rotation coming out. Brochacho heading off into the jungle to find, well, not much still standing on the map. Girl's like, oh, wait, there's no back harpies for me to actually pick up over there. Let me go back to lane. I didn't miss much. The wave hadn't arrived yet.
Xbalanque on the right-hand side of the map. He's hovering around here. He really wants to get on towards Ballantine. Gets spotted out. Hits an Archer minion to the face for his trouble. And they're going to try and shove this out. Left-hand side, check this out. This is a four-man grouping. Resist Gaming, what are they up to for this? They're going to back off and force it a three-man grouping. But guess what? It's time. It's 3 minutes. Mid-hoppy camps.
I'm not entirely sure. Resist might have been hoping to catch out El Brochacho in that rotation, just the way they were pathing across the map. Were there even a left harpy camps?
Ring of Spears is going to come down. Polar Bear Mike, he wanted to get some early aggression down. You know what he did, though? He did delay El Brochacho from rotating. He was walking into that Ring of Spears and couldn't go anywhere. Right-hand side mid-camp, so going to go in favor of high five. So at least it's a trade back and forth, but El Brochacho didn't get that XP on the right-hand side one. So, XP split 3 ways means that Polar Bear Mike will be a little bit higher level.
So with those RP camps out of contention for the time being, Polar Bear Mike's Ring of Spears also on cooldown. I'm not entirely sure what he was looking for right there. All the targets nearby, both Scylla and Batz, had a way of escaping that Ring of Spears. It might just have been a, hopefully force them to fight type situation. With that Ring of Spears to kind of cut off people from coming in from either direction. Could have potentially worked out. Not sure entirely what they were looking for. Harpy camps, though, in the end, ended up going 1 for 1. As right now, Polar Bear Mike just kind of waiting in the mid lane, waiting for that bird bomb opportunity to clear this wave of minions out. Maybe be nice. Wait for Isis. Use that Raven Shout. There we go. He's just going to wait for these guys to get close by. Raven Shout actually not being used to avoid that damage. Going to tank it up, use a health potion to mitigate it. There we go. He finally is going to clear that one out. Oh, yeah, the Odin going forward is going to be a bit of a point of contention in these fights. The bird bomb is a huge chunk of damage. Gunger's Might is a bit of damage as well, but the Ring of Spears is going to be that big key thing in the fights. Shutting down the healing coming out of both Sylvanus as well as self-healing from the likes of, say, Sobek. And, you know, that attack speed slow is nothing to underestimate. It does scale up. It's not quite that good right now, but late game, it can be fairly noticeable when you're stuck in the middle of that ring.
Heart Seeker's online for both of our 80 carries this time around. And right side, it's going to be mana buff time. Bastet's going to soak up a little bit of that minion wave XP as well. She's going to plant a ward down. They're really trying to make sure that Xbalanque can't get around and get ahead on this one, Batz.
Off on the right lane. Charge Prey being used by able to avoid that little bit of rotation coming out from Hudet as he's going to rotate his way back into the jungle. A bit of a slower game so far. Both these teams kind of just feeling each other out. We were touching on a little bit earlier about the importance of these seeding points and these matches. It's a short season. Seeding could be big going to those group stages as well. Teams do face each other an equal amount of times, though.
Bird Bomb is going to drop, and he's going to get a 3-man Ring of Spears, and down comes the ultimate. Fear Evil is at least going to make sure that Nonton gets Polar Bear Mike, but what can they find now? Oh, Spirit Arrow is going to clean up from Fear and find El Brochacho. What can they find? They're going to find cats in their face, and Xbalanque, he's a monkey. He don't like cats. They've got the Ring of Protections if they need it from Chaos, but they're going to be fighting over this fire. Gold Fury as Xbalanque gets jumped on again, and Ballantine, he's here.
He's looking for it. We'll clean up a kill on the right side to Nonton. The Pillar of Agony coming out, going to secure another one with the help of Hudet. Onto Xbalanque. I was about to say they really shouldn't be doing that Gold Fury, but it's worked out beautifully with the rotation coming in. Vulture finds one, but immediately pays for it with his life. Resist Gaming got kind of caught there for a very brief moment, but were able to turn that one back around. I believe they got the first blood. No, it was High Five got the first blood. But Resist Gaming immediately answered back, coming out in the end, 4 kills to 2.
And the left side, and what appears to almost be a right side mid-Harpy camp as well. So they may not grab that Gold Fury, but they're going to grab the early XP gold leads. That was their goal. With that one, the grab is onto Ballantine. What can they find on the Hades? Absolutely nothing. There's a bird bomb waiting to happen in that mid lane.
Yeah, you can just feel it in the air. Polar Bear Mike is waiting for the opportunity to just chunk somebody's health for all he is worth. The Ring of Spears, the absurdly short cooldown on the ability, it is back up and ready to go already. I think we have 60 seconds at rank 1. Yeah, or 60 seconds at all ranks. No cooldown reduction on the table yet. Vulture! There's a third of his health bar. One combo.
He is the recipient of that bomb of birds. Ouch. And Nonton, he's looking to get around and get into this action as well. This is going to be the opposite side. Gold Fury started up, poked out. Nonton's just like, yo, don't even have a lifesteal to attack this thing up. That means nothing. He's got a bluestone pendant. This is not Apollo with a death toll.
Yeah. There's the Ring of Spears coming down. Does catch Overchacha in the middle of this fight. Circ Protection, I believe, was dropped down in the middle of the fight. There it is. Gonna pop and secure the kill for Chaos. Pushes, can they now disengage? Polar Bear Mike a little worse for the wear. World Weaver catches Vulture in the tail end of the fight. Chaos drops one more Spirit Ball as Resist Gaming disengaged successfully after a nice pick on Overchacha.
Yeah, High Five are almost able to re-engage that as well. If they was able to get that Batz into the Ring of Spears, they probably could have fought, because Xbalanque would have just put out a nice enough amount of damage that they really could have looked for something. And if Vulture had got that reset, man, that fight would have turned intensely back in High Five's favor. But these are going to be close-fought fights for a period of time. It's going to be about if that bird bomb can land and rip up somebody as quickly as the rest of them can pile in there and follow up on the damage.
Vulture is also going to be pretty key in this one. If Vulture's able to get a reset on the Armor Monster, if he gets a kill with that first hit, it's going to make a huge difference, especially if he can secure it, actually hit multiple times with it. Even just getting one would be a huge factor in the fight. But the big thing is going to be, Resist Gaming have these big, huge pick potentials. They have the Isis, they have the Bastet for this early game aggressive comps, even Polar Bear Mike on that Odin. Bird Bomb, Spirit Ball, not going to connect. The Sentinel was off in time. But the problem is the game continues going on. It's going to be the counter engages coming out from High Five. They have to pick somebody off and then disengage because they really don't have the setup to really continue an elongated engagement at this point. They have a big combo, and that's kind of it.
Spirit Bomb does miss, and that's going to be crucial. Xbalanque's going to look to dive in and forces out the overhands. The somersault is going to come in to get him out of there, but Valentine's got a Ring of Agni and knee, and look at this. Nonton's caught out on the backside with the Ring of Spears. He's forced to try and run. He's not able to do that, and Valentine still hasn't found himself one. Finally, it's going to be Xbalanque with the Fear No Evil picking up one, but that's the Fear No Evil down. That could spell Gold Fury.
That was a 1v2 by Valentine as well, making good use of the Hades damage. The Pillar of Agni, they weren't able to get out of that. And then meanwhile, Nonton got picked off by the remainder of the team. Vulture forced to run away. Medieval not in a good spot. I'm a Monster over the wall, finds one.
Bird Bomb comboed with the World Weaver. Polar Bear Mike says, you may be over the wall, but that don't mean that you're totally safe from this one. Medieval's trying to fight, and they're going to try and pile back into this Gold Fury, because look at the health bars of Resist Gaming. If they can find anything, Windgast used from Chaos to get himself further and further away. That's what they needed, but this is going to be a Gold Fury going over towards High Five, unless Polar Bear Mike can do something about it.
He has the Wrath of the Gods online. He needs to go in just a few seconds. There he goes, looking for the damage from the Bird Bomb a little bit too early. It's down to the threshold. High Five will secure that Gold Fury. Polar Bear Mike just popped that just a split second too early. He was looking for the prediction. That was pretty well played by him. He held it. He didn't just Bird Bomb and drop the Wrath of the Gods. He realized just in time he didn't have the damage. Unfortunately, it just came down a little bit too late to secure that one in the end, or a little bit too early, actually, I guess I should say. But yeah, I mean, that's the rough thing. Resist Gaming have these big fights, but the problem is these re-engages, the healing coming out of Overchacha at this point in the game, it's going to be a bit of a factor.
Unless it's obviously in that Ring of Spears, in which case it'll never be a factor. That's, we discussed that. Let's stop talking.
Hey, did you know Ring of Spears provides anti-healing?
No.
Which means that if you try and heal within it, the healing doesn't work. It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy stuff.
Wow, man, we just found out about that. I'm Australian. Not many things heal you over here. Not from poison, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Banter that goes
Australia. Nowhere. Such a funny place. Oh, everything wants to kill you.
Something that should be pointed out in the left-hand side was just until a second ago, Norton was actually 2 levels down, as he's the one looking for the aggression. He's got the dot damage. Look at these attacks. They're going on to Fear No, and the Darkest of Nights is down as well. Beards to clean that one out. Ho! Get outplayed, son. Nonton, the Bon depends which Twitch chat you're following. Just got outplayed.
Overchacha finding 2 men Wrath of Terror. Chaos in the spot. Trouble Circ Protection going to be a little bit of a heal. I'm a Monster says hello. As a second shot connects as well, can they lock this one down? Xbalanque with the overhand smash gets that one. Hudat looking for the follow-up kill though with the catcall drop down. Finds that one. The stuns come out from those double fists of the gods dropping down. Hudat will be able to successfully disengage. But lurking in the wings here is Fierno. He could potentially look for a kill onto potentially El Brochacho and potentially Xbalanque. It's an easy kill there. One gets the kill. Can he now get out alive? Backflip says yes, he can.
Yeah, Xbalanque's just got no mana to reply to anything with that one, and Medieval's still rotating from the solo lane. We'll find Ballantyne. He's just they walk over each other. They walk over.
It's the story of Solo. He's like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, what's going on? Dude, just going back to the lane as a minion way of attacking my tower. I'm gonna take that out right now. They can't. There's nothing they can do about it to each other. It's like, what are you gonna do? Charge prey? I'll throw you back. You'll keep doing what you're doing because you don't care. I can't kill you anyway. So why bother wasting the mana I have? Okay, I have the beginnings of I have a silver breastplate. It'll give me a lot of mana once it's completed, but for now, I have a very limited pool to work with. As Ballantyne's taking a stroll through the jungle, walk through the woods. Why not? He's Hades. He's not gonna die here. You could look for a steal. Hudat's here to help. If we're gonna drop down, he's almost getting picked off.
And the rest of the team starts to pile in here. Bird Bombs galore is going to try and do anything, but Nonton, he's finally coming in here, and Chaos is going to be the focus. Unfortunately, the W to come through, sorry, the 2 to come through from that I'm a monster not going to land as well. Ballantyne is going to get focused out. So is Elbow and Chacho. He just gets focused all the time. The cats and the dots from that cat is going to do all that they really needed to. Xbalanque found something, and oh my god, Mike is finally going to go down. You may not be a polar bear no longer. Ballantyne's going to jump across this wall and be totally fine. Xbalanque, though, he's going for Fierno. Doesn't find the overhand smash, but at least he's going to be able to jump on towards Ballantyne. One more attack. Can he find it? Does he have the move speed? They're looking for the pluck. The silence comes through. And look at those stacks. He will get the kill underneath the tower. Finally, Fierno manages to escape there from high five. Xbalanque!
Out of mana once again.
Oh.
Cannonball from that blunderbuss. More than enough to secure that kill. That fight basically boiled down to the fact that Fierno was behind on the rotation. Nonton was in the middle of that fight, dishing out all that damage as Xbalanque will do. The branching bolas, it's an extra 60% damage coming out across two additional people, I should say. Fierno just kind of was late to that party. That's basically what that boiled down to. The health bars by high five were dropping at the exact same rate. If they had Fierno in the middle of that fight, that very well could have been a fight going easily in favor of Resist Gaming, but because it was a 4v5, it was a little bit back and forth in fairness.
Did El Brochacho walk out of that fight?
I believe he did. I don't believe anyone on high five actually died.
No, El Brochacho actually he did die.
And Xbalanque on the very tail end of the fight as well.
Yeah,
they got one, but they lost 4 for it. Not really great results.
Yeah, and look at it. We were looking at an 11-7 scoreline a few minutes ago. Look at it now. It's closed back up at the end of that fight. But time to look at our ever-faithful graphs and to tell us which team is actually the better at collecting experience and better at completing through their phases of life. You know, because that's what experience really is. It's not about an in-game ranking or an in-game level or an in-game stat counter. It's actually how good you are at life. That's let's get honest here. You know, but over-ranting once again. XP still in favor of Resist Gaming.
Only slightly, though. You can see the gold count with the back of that Gold Fury a little while back did swing in the favor of high five, and then that team fight that went in favor just a few moments ago. Definitely not hurting things. Gold Fury number 2 has been started up right now. Oliver Mike is nearby, waiting for the right moment. He needs to go right about now. The Vision high five, get that one as well. Raven Shout gonna buy him time. The lunge will get him out safely. He will survive this time, but Gold Fury picked up for the second time by high five.
And that's going to swing the XP just about level, and the gold is starting to snowball away. Those peaks, those crests, they're starting to get a little bit out of hand. Resist Gaming need to start focusing on them now, but at one man, Spirit Bomb almost a 2. Xbalanque will get dropped extremely low. Circle of Protections is here to do a lot of damage to Chacho and the cats as well. Vulture's here on the backside, so is Medieval. They find Hudat, but Chaos is at least going to find one for himself before he pays. It's a 2-for-1 trade, and look at this. Ballantyne is just not able to get in here, and Medieval has just rotated so much earlier, and he's making himself worth.
Yep, that tier 1 tower in the right-hand lane for both teams a little bit they're not looking too good over there. But if Sobek is able to take down that tier 1, with his rotations already being pretty much on point, he's going to be just that much more free to rotate around whenever he feels like it without having to worry about the tier 1 tower being at threat, really. So, taking a peek down at the item, this Breastplate of Valor has been completed. That's extra cooldown reduction on that Sobek, extra mana, Wingblade online as well, pretty much sitting max cooldown reduction, a couple percentage short. Medieval's like, can I hurt you yet? Maybe. A little bit. Not really. Not worth trying. Forget it. I'm leaving now.
I'm just going to boop you a whole bunch. Xbalanque, though, he might be able to do a bit more, but not if Valentine dodges some skill shots. They get the pluck on a Polar Bear Mike. If he has to jump away, there's no bird bomb.
That's going to be a lot of damage taken with that Cyclone plus that crush. Xbalanque going to be forced the beads out from that tower. Bastet's going to jump forward, look for this fight. The Fear Name will drop down. Going to force the beads from Houdat. They're grouping up, but it's going to be a 3v4. A nice pluck coming back in. Pounce is still down. Catcall dropped as Dark Nets come out. That's another I'm a Monster here from Vulture.
Yeah, he is just on point with those today. MLC Stealth version 2.0. They don't find the second block on Polar Bear Mike or the crush, and Vulture was really hunting for that one. But Evil's not done until he's burned the blink of the Odin.
Two members of Resist Gaming still the other side of the map right now, not really able to find anything. It's going to be a tier 2 tower getting taken as well as a couple of those kills. So Resist Gaming, they had this game pretty, not in the bag necessarily, but they had a pretty strong grip on it. And they've since lost it. Gold has slid to a 5.4k deficit, as well as a 4,000 experience deficit for them to fight back from. High Five are doing a good job of grabbing control of this matchup, due in no small part to the fact that Vulture is biding his time with these I'm a Monsters, waiting for the setup, landing not one, but at least two, in probably the last 3-4 team fights in a row.
I'm a Monster. Vulture! What kind of madman are you to land that many I'm a Monsters for resets? He's playing so well this game.
That's like you said.
Oh, man.
He's wearing his COG hoodie. He's channeling his inner MLC stealth, just rocking that Scylla hard. You see it in the backline, just kind of chilling. Damage or speed buff, getting taken down, helping that out. The next fights are going to come down to basically Vulture setting them up. As you know, the Hunters really haven't been a factor in this quite yet. They're still in that we just want to farm forever stage of the game. Darkest of the Nights coming out from Nanton is more than enough. It's that vision reduction. You can still see some stuff through it, but it really restricts it quite a bit. As well as that little brief period of either having to stop moving or get potentially stunned. It's enough of an interruption to fight that bad things can sometimes happen.
And the vision interrupt, that's so crucial as well, because you can't tell if your opposition are continuing to engage. You're relying purely on your teammates. That is a huge part about that, the Xbalanque ultimate. Darkest of Nights? Yeah, it's the Darkest of Nights. I can't see more than 5 meters ahead of me. What the hell, guys? Who brought the lantern?
Fearno knows this is going on here on the left side of the jungle. Can't really do much about it. Right side, though, big play coming out. Medieval's aware of the fact there's 4 members of Resist Gaming on the right side of the map right now. But there's no opportunity really to go for this right now. They're still looking for Fearno on the left-hand side of the map. Medieval is more than enough to stop that Fire Giant.
Yeah, and down comes the Fear No Evil. Can they continue to chase Fearno? He may not be able to fear no evil. Well, he's going to have to fear it this time because Xbalanque is going to make sure that they get that kill on the right-hand side. The Fire Giant got delayed. Medieval, he's managed to delay that one long enough that they're going to get a left-hand side tower. They've got to initiate on it now, but the Ring of Spears is down on Medieval. Cat Call as well. Circle of Protections. 3 ultimates burn for Medieval, and he is just going to charge Prey away. If they go for this Fire Giant, they could lose the game.
Yeah, there's no way they can go against it. With Medieval there was really no steal potential from him. He could have forced the rest of the... Resist Gaming basically could have forced the High Five team away from that left lane if they started that Fire Giant. It's like, Medieval, he's going to slow them down slightly. It would have been a very slow Fire Giant attempt, but they would have had some time to disengage. Okay, they're rotating out of the left lane. We can now leave the Fire Giant, look to reset, look to group up. They actually try to sneak it in, then we can actually group up as 5 and fight them to stop that. Because they didn't go for that Fire Giant, they waited, they kind of sat there, they lost the Tier 1 and Tier 2 left lane. Tier 2 is the threat mid, the fight is on, Polar Bear Mike getting just chunked down.
Goodbye, sir. Nanton's going to grab another extra 5 damage for himself. He will be Vulture that eats that ultimate to the face. The World Weaver didn't quite kill him off, though, and now it's going to be the rest of the fight. They won't quite get the reset. Valentine will finally get him as he does have the Shield of the Underworld to kill him off, and that was what got the killing blow. Now Elbow Charger is so low. Fearno will finally pick him off, but Nanton is just ripping through his health bar, and he's got no team left to defend him. You may play a double Guardian, double Hunter composition, but when you've got nothing left on your team, it means nothing, and there ain't no composition like that in this game either.
Medieval's charging forward in this one, looking for a little bit of vision on Polar Bear Mike to see exactly where he is leaving that base right now. Phoenix in the mid lane will fall. That was a huge gold swing going their way. Xbalanque very low. Good crowd control. The pluck will save his life. Medieval coming through with a clutch play to keep Grishank alive. They'll disengage. The base of Resist Gaming has been cracked. They can just look to group up for a Fire Giant. The mid lane, it's not the most ideal lane to have Fire Minions, but any Fire Minions are better than no Fire Minions.
Oh, man. Look at those fire. High Five were behind. You've got to remember that as well. They were behind, and they just turned this around. Bolcher come online. Nonton, Xbalanque comes online. And as soon as those late game picks, they get online, is there any way in the world Resist can stop it?
It's going to be tough. Xbalanque is probably the hyper-carriest hyper-carry in Smite. Just due to the fact that he has that permanently active physical power off his passive, plus AoE damage with the branching bolas. The rest of his kit's debatable depending on from person to person, but just raw damage output, he is definitely up there. The grouping right side of the map is already on. You see High Five a little scattered. It's a 3v5. They don't know this right now. As far as I can tell, there's no words down that Gold Fury is being snuck in. If Resist Gaming knew this, they could look for a fight right now. But right now, Furno's kind of caught in the mid lane against Medieval. Getting plucked back in. He can backflip out to safety, but there's a little monster waiting around that wall.
And she's going to be looking for a grab on towards him. The Sikkim doesn't quite land, but look at the damage from Medieval. They really don't care. The crush hits, and that's all they need. Who dat? Good feared, son. Fierno is not here to stop the team from being feared, but look at the Pillar of Agony. It does so much damage, and now Bolcher drops that I'm a Monster. No resets this time around. They're doing damage left, right, and center. Valentine's going to be the first one they go through, and Nonton finds Chaos next. Bolcher is still live through this one. The Surrender Vote passes, and High Five wipe game number 1, and look at that. They deserve a high five for their efforts in that one.
That was pretty rough coming out for Resist Gaming. The Odin play coming out from Polar Mike wasn't bad, but it just wasn't making those big early game plays that you need to have Evan Odin. He kind of tapers off once he gets max rank on Lunge, max rank for Shield of the Underworld. That's kind of it. He's not really scaling up that much in the late game in that support role. He's not buying really any sort of offensive items. He's just kind of, you know, even a solo lane Odin, even like the odd jungle Odin, you're still getting a decent amount of gold where you can buy items. You're kind of keeping pace with everyone else. He was 3 levels behind anybody else in the game. He wasn't really able to frontline all that much. It was a rough one. It was an early Odin pickup, and just, you know, okay, they picked up Odin. We just won't really pick anyone else up who can't deal with it. Sobek, they picked up afterwards. Like, he's Sobek. We saw how many people was Medieval tanking up. Like, let's kill him. Ultimate, damage, 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 damage. He walked away with 3/4 of his health bar still being full. So, I don't know.
Man.
Odin, I like the team comp, but the Odin just didn't seem to really have much of an effect on the game overall in this one.
The bird bombs needed a little bit more caw, and that didn't really seem to have that one. It might be an eagle, but sounds more like a crow as he crows after the end of the game, of course. Raven crow. Isn't they the same thing?
I think it's technically different. I don't know. Technically. They're both black birds, and they are loud. If they're on your front lawn where you're trying to sleep, it will drive you insane, regardless of what actual bird it is. That said,
I'm gonna go kill some spiders.
Yes. You have fun with that. We're gonna cut to a quick little break. Bring back the Monster Cat. Cats also like killing spiders, so Monster Cat would do quite well against, I don't know how, you know, you still have those radioactive spider, dinosaur, Tyrannosaurus Rexes, kangaroo hybrids. I don't even know what the hell they are anymore. It's all sorts of crazy stuff down in the outback of Australia. That's it, guys. We're going to cut to a quick little break, and we'll be back with game number 2. High Five looking to close out the series in a 2-0 sweep. We'll see if Resist Gaming can bring this one back around.